Hello everyone, I'm Wisdom, a backend developer. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through how to develop a simple contact form using Laravel 8, Ajax, Jquery, and Bootstrap. I will like to say this tutorial isn't for absolute beginners. I assume that anybody that is watching this or came across this video know the basic of Laravel, Jquery, Ajax, and Bootstrap. Notwithstanding, as I said, this is a simple contact form. Just follow the tutorial and code along and get your contact form working without any page refresh. This tutorial will teach you how to validate your form, display errors, create markdown for your mail class and send emails to your preferred email address without any page refresh. That sounds cool, right? If you find this tutorial helpful and informative, please like and subscribe to my channel, and share it with your friends. Let's get started. First, we're going to create a fresh Laravel project. Let's run composer create project Laravel contact _ form. Let's hold on for some seconds for composer to create our project. Our project is ready. Let's launch our project using PHP Artisan Serve. Next is to open our project in a code editor. I'm using Sublime Text for this tutorial. You can use any code editor of your choice. Next is to open our project in a browser. Let's open our code editor again and create the form markup. We're going to use the welcome blade file as we're going to delete everything inside it and create our own markup. Next is to get the bootstrap CDN, both the CSS and JS file. Let's get the bootstrap markup for our form, and style our form using the bootstrap classes. Let's view it again in a browser and see how it looks. Doesn't look good enough. Guess it will look better inside a bootstrap card. Let's add the form inside a bootstrap card. Let's add the form fields we will need for this tutorial. We are going to collect the user's name, email, and his or her message. Let's view the form again in the browser. It looks better now. Let's clean up our code and make it look better. Now we have set up our form markup with its styling. Let's create the controller that we will use to view the form and submit it. After creating the controller, let's set up our root. After setting up the root, let's go to the controller and render the contact form from the index method. Let's check our browser again and see if everything is okay. Now we are going to use the contact form root we created. Now our contact form looks okay. Let's get Jquery CDN as we are going to use Jquery for the Ajax requests. After getting the Jquery CDN, let's type our Jquery code that will submit the form. First, let's alert OK to see if the Jquery is working perfectly well. Yeah, everything is working fine. Let's give our form an ID. Let's add the root that we will be submitting the form. Next, is to add Jquery event listener that will submit the form using an Ajax request. After that, we will use JavaScript prevent default function to prevent the page from refreshing on form submit. Next, is to get the URL we will be submitting the form using Jquery attribute method, to get the value of the form action attribute. Let's alert the URL, to see if it is actually getting the value we need. Cool, we got the value we need. Let's get back to our code editor and navigate back to the contact controller. Inside the store method of the controller. First, we are going to validate the user's request, making sure that every field in the contact form is filled. We are going to use the validator facade to validate the request. This will help us catch the validation errors and return them to the user. Let's use the if statement to check if there is an error. Laravel validation returns an array of errors, containing the error message of each field if it happens to be any. But in this case, we are going to get the first error for each request and return it to the user. We will return the error message in JSON format with its error code. Don't forget to import the validator facade class before using it. Let's go back to the blade file. Every post request in Laravel is usually sent with a token, to protect the form from cross-platform attack. We are going to add a hidden field that will hold the token that will be sent to our backend. Without the token, you won't be able to submit the form. Let's submit the form to the backend for processing using the Jquery post method. After submitting the form, we are going to get a response from the backend. First, let's console the response, to know what the response looks like. Next, let's add a div tag that will display the response message to the user. This tag will display both the error and success message to the user. Next, we are going to use the if statement to check the error code we got from the backend, in order to determine which message to display to the user. Let's go back to the browser, to check if everything is working fine. Nice, everything is working perfectly well. We are going to create a variable that will hold the response we are going to get from the backend. This variable will hold a span tag that has a bootstrap alert class, that will make the response look nice to the user. Let's go back to the browser and see how it looks. Let's test the validations and see if it's working perfectly well. Now, the validations are working perfectly well. Next, let's create our mail class alongside the markdown that we will use to receive the mail. Let's open the mail class and create a message property that will be passed to the markdown. This message property will hold the message alongside the user email, and name that will be sent to our mail. Lastly, let's write the code that will send the message to our email, using Laravel mail facade. After submitting the form, we will return a success message to the user. Don't forget to import the mail facade class and contact mail class. For this tutorial, we are going to use mailtrap for the SMTP settings. Mailtrap is a mail service that allows us to test our project mail functionalities before pushing them to production. Mailtrap doesn't actually send to our email, rather it forwards the mail to your mailtrap demo inbox. You can create a mailtrap account if you don't have any. It's totally free and easy to create. After creating a mailtrap account, get the SMTP configuration settings from your dashboard and put them in your .env Laravel file. Let's add another condition that checks when the form is submitted successfully and returns a success message to the user. Congrats! We have successfully created a contact form that enables us to receive a message from our contact form, without any page refresh. If you find this tutorial very helpful and informative, please like and subscribe to my channel for more Laravel tutorials. Thanks for watching, see you next time.